Hello from Inside Drug Discovery. This video presents a drug, Lynavoy, which was recently approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This video focuses on the medicinal chemistry properties of the drug rather than its therapeutic benefit in patients. Lynavoy was approved on March 17, 2026. Lynavoy is approved for the treatment of cholestatic pruritus associated with primary biliary cholangitis. Lynavoy's active pharmaceutical ingredient is linarixibat. The drug is administered orally twice per day as a 40 milligram tablet. The sponsor for the NDA is GlaxoSmithKline. A link to the prescribing information insert for Lynavoy is shown on this slide as well as in the video description. Primary biliary cholangitis is a known condition. It has previously been called primary biliary cirrhosis. It is an autoimmune disorder that involves progressive destruction of intrahepatic bile ducts. The condition leads to reduced bile flow in the liver and ultimately liver inflammation. The condition is uncommon. Interestingly, it has a considerably higher incidence in women than in men. So how does Lynavoy work? The drug acts as an inhibitor of the ileal bile acid transporter. Blocking this transporter, which is found in the ileum, the last section of the small intestine, reduces absorption of bile acids from the small intestine. The unabsorbed bile acids are simply excreted in the feces, and therefore the total amount returned to the liver is reduced. Exactly how inhibition of the transporter affects cholestatic pruritus is not well understood, but reducing bile acid reabsorption does appear to reduce the severity of the itching that patients experience. Here are the physicochemical properties of linarixibat, the API in Lynavoy. The compound has just one Lipinski violation for high molecular weight. The number of rotatable bonds is rather high, as is the polar surface area. Of course, that does not matter. Although Lynavoy is administered orally, the drug is not orally absorbed, or at least not intended for oral absorption. The drug is instead essentially a topical agent for the GI tract, as the ileal bile acid transporter is directly accessible from the lumen of the small intestine. It maybe does not make sense to talk about the PK properties of linarixibat as it is not appreciably absorbed into the systemic circulation. Regardless, the small amount that is absorbed has a half-life of 6.8 hours with a Tmax of 4.5 hours. In a study involving orally administered radiolabeled drug, 97% of the radioactivity was observed in the feces, with 99% of that being unchanged drug, and just a trace observed in the urine. With IV administration, urine is still the minor route of excretion, but at a much higher proportion. Lynavoy carries 3 warnings and precautions: elevated liver test results, diarrhea, and fat-soluble vitamin deficiency. Adverse reactions seen in at least 5% of patients include a range of mostly GI tract effects as well as selected laboratory abnormalities. That completes this summary of the NDA approval of Lynavoy, which was announced by the U.S. FDA on March 17th of 2026. Lynavoy contains linarixibat as its active pharmaceutical ingredient. Lynavoy is approved for the treatment of cholestatic pruritus. Thank you for your attention. Your comments are always welcome. Please like and subscribe. Take care.